Imagine you're a surgeon, a damn good one. You've spent your life mastering your craft. Your hands are insured for millions. Tonight, you're scheduled for a complex 12-hour procedure to save a child's life. You get in your car. It doesn't start. The battery's dead. No problem, you'll call a cab. You pull out your phone. No signal. The network's down. Again. You start running. 10 blocks in, you realize your imported running shoes, the only pair you could find, are falling apart. The sole is peeling off. You arrive at the hospital, sweating, exhausted, an hour late. You scrub in, reach for your specialized toolkit, and it's empty. The sanctions block the shipment. The spare parts are sitting in a warehouse in Germany. You stand there, in a state-of-the-art operating room you can't use, with your million-dollar hands tied behind your back. Welcome to the Iranian economy in 2024, a place where potential doesn't just go to waste, it's systematically blockaded. For decades, we've been told a story about Iran, a story about rogue states, nuclear brinkmanship, and the axis of evil, a geopolitical thriller. But if you pull back the curtain on that drama and look at the real ledger, the balance sheet of an entire nation, you don't just see isolation. You see an economic siege so comprehensive, it's a masterclass in financial warfare. We're talking about an economy with the world's second largest gas reserves and fourth largest oil reserves, where the currency has lost over 90% of its value in a decade. Where a middle-class salary can buy you little more than rice and eggs by the end of the month. This isn't an accident, this is architecture. In this video, we're not debating who's right or wrong. We're following the money. We're tracing the blueprint of how a resource-rich powerhouse was methodically severed from the global financial bloodstream. Buckle up. It's going to get claustrophobic. 1. The original sin, the 1979 revolution, and the cost of divorce. Every collapse has a catalyst. For Iran, it was a divorce, a messy, violent, ideological divorce from the West in 1979. Before that, Iran wasn't just rich, it was flashy. It was the Gulf's rising jet-set star. But the revolution wasn't just a change of government, it was a repudiation of the economic order. Overnight, billions in assets were frozen. International contracts were torn up. Western engineers and executives packed their bags. The message was clear: we'll go it alone. And for a while, fueled by revolutionary fervor and a brutal war with Iraq, the economy ran on patriotism and pain. But here's the thing about self-sufficiency: it's expensive. And when your entire economic model is built on selling one thing, oil, to the world you just told to get lost, you've built a house on a cliff. 2. The sanctions spiral, the financial maximum pressure cooker. This is where the story shifts from political conflict to financial strangulation. Enter the sanctions. Not just one, but a layered, evolving web of them. First, it was arms embargoes. Then, it was bans on investing in Iran's energy sector, hitting its lifeblood. Then, it became about cutting off access to the global financial messaging system, SWIFT. Think of it as taking a modern country and forcing it to do all its banking by passing physical bags of cash over the border. The goal? Maximum pressure. A campaign to collapse Iran's oil exports to zero. And it worked. Exports plummeted from nearly 2.5 million barrels per day to under 500,000. That's like ripping the heart out of the budget. But here's the darker financial reality no one talks about: the smuggler's premium. When a country is locked out of formal markets, a shadow economy takes over. Want to import medicine? You need a network of front companies, middlemen in Dubai, and ships that will go dark and turn off their transponders. Each layer adds a tax. The cost of a vital cancer drug isn't just the price. It's the price, plus the risk, plus the bribe, plus the black market forex fee. You're not just paying for the product. You're paying for the entire illegal supply chain to get it to you. This is the hyperinflation of isolation. 3. The domestic cancer, corruption, and the Revolutionary Guard's shadow empire. Now let's talk about the cancer inside the house. Sanctions created a fortress, and in a fortress, the people who control the gates become kings. Meet the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC. Started as the revolution's protectors, they've morphed into a corporate military conglomerate that controls an estimated 40 to 50% of the entire economy. We're talking oil, construction, telecommunications, even the black market. Why is this a disaster? Because it kills competition, innovation, and efficiency. When the IRGC's construction firm wins every major infrastructure bid, not because they're the best, but because they are the government, the military, and the regulator, you get shoddy buildings, inflated costs, and zero accountability. This is the resistance economy in practice, a captive market where politically connected elites get richer selling scarcity to a desperate population. It's a perverse incentive structure where the worse the economy gets, the more valuable their control over the gates becomes. They're not solving the crisis, they're monetizing it. 4. The brain drain and the lost generation. There's a cost that doesn't show up on a balance sheet, but might be the most devastating of all. The cost of human capital. Every economy has a limited number of geniuses. When you crush opportunity, you don't just lose money, you lose your future. Iran is suffering one of the worst brain drains in history. Its brightest engineers, its best doctors, its most promising scientists, they aren't building startups in Tehran. They're in Silicon Valley, in Toronto, in Berlin. The IMF estimates 150,000 to 180,000 educated Iranians leave every year. Think about that. You're a country under immense pressure, and your single most valuable export isn't oil or carpets. It's your children, it's your PhDs. You're literally exporting your solution makers. The middle class isn't just shrinking, it's packing its bags. What's left is a simmering pressure cooker of the ultra-rich, connected elite, and a vast, frustrated population watching the ladder to a better life get sawed off right in front of them. So let's recap the blueprint. 1. Geopolitical divorce. Severing ties crashes the existing model. 2. Financial siege. Sanctions amplify the crash, creating a profitable shadow economy. 3. Internal capture. Corrupt institutions seize control of the scarcity. 4. Human capital flight. The future literally walks away. This is the vicious cycle. Sanctions strengthen the hardliners who control the black markets. Their corruption and mismanagement further cripple the economy, which leads to more public unrest. The West points to that unrest as proof the regime is illegitimate, justifying more sanctions. Rinse, repeat. The Iranian economy isn't just devastated, it's trapped between a ruling class that profits from the siege and an international community that believes more pressure is the only answer. We followed the money. And what we found wasn't just a failed economy. It's a laboratory for a new kind of conflict. One fought not with tanks, but with transaction bans, not with missiles, but with monetary policy. The battlefield is the SWIFT network. The casualties are hospitals without medicine, factories without parts, and a generation without hope. The real cost of this economic war isn't measured in barrels or rials. It's measured in the potential of 85 million people left in limbo, holding their breath for an end to a war waged on their wallets. If this video made you see the headlines a little differently, do me a favor. Smash that like button. It helps the algorithm find other people who look past the politics to the human cost. And subscribe if you want more deep dives into the real stories behind the global economy. I've got a video coming up on how Venezuela's collapse was a preview of the same playbook. You don't want to miss it. Thanks for watching. Keep your mind open. I'll see you in the next one.